start time do you prefer more over?
I mean, waking up in the morning and getting it over with right away, that's the best thing. Because, I mean, having to, balance yourself and not get too overly hyped for the game. You got to make sure that you pace yourself in night games. Because, I mean, I know myself, I'm over there already thinking about it now, what I'm going to do on Monday. And, you dream about the plays that you're going to make, but you just try to build it up instead of, just going overboard. Sometimes I do.
Is it hard all day in those situations? Like, you've got 2 little kids and maybe, Daddy, read me a story over the phone. You're like, well, I have a game to prepare for, but it's like not for hours and hours and hours.
You know what? I try to take care of business even to the last start, because I feel like I do a good job. But I mean, if you don't know what to do at that point, before it's game time, then you ain't ready anyway. But I feel like in those moments, I try to keep it as normal as I can. But when I get in between them lines, it's definitely a switch that come on when coming out that time.
What makes Cousins special?
You know what? Cousins, he's smart. I feel like, he always has a good game plan going in. And the goal is to try to mess up the game plan. But I think that he do a great job of just getting the ball out, sticking to the game plan, and making sure that he make plays, get the ball to his guys. So we got to make sure we make it difficult for him.
You probably noticed that fans weren't that happy with Jonathan Gannon after Sunday's game.
They wasn't happy before.
So, what do you make of the way he deployed people, and people were expecting the defense to look a lot different?
Well, first game, everybody, if it was good, and then the next game it wasn't, it's just like we going backwards. As long as we just keep trending upward, that's all I really care about, because you know how I go. It's not how you start, it's how you finish, and we want to make sure that we trending in the right way. And so I know we got some issues, and I know for us, we know how good we can be. But we see we got to work on some certain stuff if we want to be great. And so missing tackles, stuff that we can control, we try to just take care of those. And sometimes people going to make a good play here and there, but let's try to make sure that we take care of our business as far as, you do your job, I do mine, and we meet in the middle by making sure we get the numbers to the ball, running to the ball. That's the choice.
Brandon, seeing the purple on the other side, does that do anything for you, given the recent history, seeing the playing the Vikings, that stir up anything for you?
You know what? I just think about back in 2017, went crazy at our home. Because I think that was the last time we played them here. No, it was in 2018. They came here. Yeah, we played them again. Right, we did. Yeah.
So Linval Joseph came.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Boy, it's fans, man.
Oh yeah. But yeah, no, I think it's another game on the list. We got to go out there and try to go 2-0 against it.
Man, I'm just trying to live up to the standard that's already been set. Derek kind of set the standard of being nasty, playing physically tough. So, we're going to can't really fill the void, man, but we're going to do everything we can, to live up to that standard.
Actuary, man, what was up about that, man? You're like his was football. What was up with that?
I'm just a big math person, man. Ever since I was little, I always loved math, so that's kind of how I went that route in college of, getting that applied mathematics degree and actuarial science minor. So that's where that kind of came from.
Can you explain what that is exactly for us who are not math majors?
Well, actuary actually does a lot of stuff, deals with probabilities, finances, a lot of stuff that you got to a lot of tests that you actually got to take to actually be certified as an actuary. But for me, like I said, I just love math, finances, and all probabilities. So that's kind of how I went that route. That was always my second plan.
You good with taxes? My taxes are late. Is that
I'm still about good with taxes.
Are you certified?
No, I'm not. That's the route I was going to take. To be an actuary, you guys got to take 6 tests. So once I got drafted, I never really, started that route. But that was always my backup plan.
You feel like you'll be up this week?
Yeah, I feel like I'll be up. I'm ready to go. So.
What was the first game like, not being able to play? I mean, were you kind of eager for this chance?
Oh yeah, I'm always eager. I'm always ready to get out there and show what I can do. So I'm excited. Ready to go.
What's it going to take for some of the success we saw on the practice field this summer to translate?
It's just going to take me going out there now and getting my mind right, going through the plays and everything, and just kind of getting the feel for it and, learning what they do, watching film like we're doing now. Then once it's time to go out there, it's time to go out there. We're going to do everything that I need to do to prepare and get ready today and tomorrow. in our last practice, and then get ready for Monday. So we'll be ready.
How much different of a player are you now than what we saw from you your rookie year?
A lot different. I got a lot more experience, and I feel like I'm a lot more comfortable than I was last year.
Where do you think you've improved the most?
For me, definitely, I talked about it kind of in camp, just learning how to get out the ball. For me, a struggle I had is being able to get out the ball and actually gain ground. So, when I'm hitting my moves, my pass rush moves and stuff, I'm not so far away from the offensive lineman. And that kind of helped me out, just getting better with my hands in the run game and stuff. I feel like I've made some good strides.
How'd you work on that? Just repetition?
Yeah, just repetition in practice, just working on it. Before practice, I always go out like 30 minutes early, and just work on my hands, work on that gaining ground, and, any little thing that my coach said I need to, improve on. So that's how I feel like I made that stride.
Who's the best at that in this locker room?
The best at get off?
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's a question. You're going to get some arguments started in here. But for me, I'll probably say Brandon Graham and Sweaty. They always have a pretty good, consistent get off. So, yeah.
Most definitely tackling. This is week one. All across the board, man. We've seen it all over the NFL last week. Missed tackling. We were we weren't the exception to that. We definitely have to be better tacklers this week.
When you watch the tape of your performance, what are some takeaways you had from it?
Man, there was some things that I did good. There was some things that I wish I would have saw. I felt like I left like 3 plays out there that could have affected the game. Just week one, man. Now it's time to get settled down, start correcting the small details, the small minor mistakes, and start playing football that's closer to the standard, closer to our standard.
Obviously, pass rush is a big thing for this team. The reason they brought you in. What do you need? What do you guys need to do better to get to the quarterback?
No, just keep working. You know what I'm saying? Just keep working, man. It's week one. I would, nobody should be alarmed about anything in week one. You feel me? It's week one. It's the first real action. And it's a lot of things that goes into it. It's just about, I think you're going to see, you can tell how good a team is, right, by what they correct from week one to week two. And right now, all we're focusing on is being better than we were last week and fixing the things that we did wrong last week.
Well, you know this town more than anybody. You play college here and all that. Is that then not frustrating that it is just week one? Everyone's like, wait. Haason Reddick was supposed to be brought in here to go get that, and he didn't do the, you know what I mean, the panic button.
Oh, no, I didn't, man. It's, it's Philly, man. Like, that's all I can say is Philly. If it didn't happen, I would be shocked. But, I'm not worried nor concerned. Got 16 more opportunities. Week one. Like I said, it's time to settle down now, correct the minor mistakes. As I said earlier, it was a couple things that I saw after the game that I wish I would have saw during the game. But now that I know what those things are, I can focus on that, and it'll open up a lot of things for me. So that's all I got to do is just do what I didn't do last week. Everything will be okay.
How excited are you to be back at the link, like you were, in college on Monday Night Football? That's your debut.
Oh man, that is going to be crazy. I know it. The energy's going to be there. I know all the fans going to come out. They're going to come support. And while I know it's a Monday night game, I ain't going to get caught up into the hype. I'm just focused on right now being better than I was in week one, fixing the things that I didn't do right in week one. And that's all that I'm focused on. I'm not going to get caught up in the hype. I'm not going to get caught up in, you're back home, you're playing. I'm not going to let that stuff distract me. Only thing I'm worried about is playing good football for Philadelphia Eagles.
You said you don't feel like you played up to your own standard Sunday in Detroit. How high is that standard?
Oh, very, very high. The standard that I hold for myself is higher than anything or any expectations that anybody else could have for me. I always want to do my best, and I always want to show that I'm one of the best players. So my expectations and my standards are always higher than what the fans could have, coaches could have. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that I didn't hit my standard, a lot of people tell me, "Oh, you played a great game, this, that, and the third." But I didn't play to my standard. I didn't do what I wanted to do, and that's all I'm focusing on. I'm focusing on that for Minnesota, and then every week going forward.
Did you get enough pass rush reps in the game?
I believe so, man. I had some B-gap rushes that I could have hit that I felt like would have changed the game. I I just didn't see him. But now that I'm, now that I'm thinking about it, I'll be more conscious of it and put it into my pass rush more.
What's that standard for you look like? Is it measured by sacks? Is it measured by pressure rate? Is it measured by hits? What's the?
Nah, just overall how I would if I did anything to help affect the game. At some point, some play, at some point, I just feel like I have to make a play that affects the game because, that's what I was brought here to do. And while I did have some good plays, I did a lot of good things. I don't think I really made a game-changing play. And it's all right. It's week 1. I ain't worried about that. I'm not worried about that. I got 16 more weeks, 16 more opportunities, and I know my time. I know everything that I'm looking to accomplish will come.
I just asked because there's no highlights for setting the edge.
Right.
So
nobody knows that, right? It's a lot of things that goes into it that the fans don't realize, the fans don't know, and I'm not going to get into that. The fans, they're going to say what they want to say. They're going to have their own opinions no matter what anybody says. So I ain't worried about that. I know it's Philly. I know it's a tough crowd. I know it can be. I'm not going to let it faze me. Like I said, the only thing I'm worried about is playing great football for the Philadelphia Eagles.
But for each game, do you have an internal checklist of I need to do X, Y, and Z in this game?
Not really. Just at some point in the game, I want to be a factor. At some point in the game, I just like to make a play that change the game or got the team going. Cause some type of energy for the team that was good and get us going, get us on the road. That's all.
How do you feel? I mean, are you able to? You think you'll be able to learn enough about the defense to be out there?
Oh yes. Yeah. As soon as I got here, I jumped straight into the playbook, and I'm still learning to this day. But I'm taking it one day at a time and just processing everything, the way I can.
What's it like in Sweaty?
It's pretty nice to just link with some teammates that I've had previous in college, Marvin Wilson, Ida Tate. So just getting around and getting in the locker room and then familiar with some guys that I already have a relationship with, fit right in.
Have you been in contact with him over the years?
Yeah, I stay in contact with Marvin Wilson, Ida Tate, and all the guys that I went to Florida State with over the years.
What do you feel like you do best?
I feel like I play football. I'm a football player. It's a variety of things that I do well. Whether that's playing around or playing the pass. So it's every day is a work in progress, and I'm still on the climb of getting better at my game.
You feel like having Big Marv and Sweaty here will help you kind of learn the playbook, learn the build?
Of course, like I said, having that relationship with guys that I previously been around, that's been here a while, that can put myself in the best position to be out there on the field.
They are pretty similar defenses, aren't they?
Minnesota actually runs a 3-4, so it's kind of different.
Okay, but they switch out of it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I just do what the coaches tell me to do. I don't got no control. I can't put myself in the game. Obviously, we got great guys up front, too. So, whenever it's my turn, I just go out there and do my thing.
You feel like you could play like 30 or something?
Yeah, whatever I need to do. So, like I said again, great group of guys. And, it's a healthy rotation. So, whenever my time is called or whatever situation or scheme we run, I'm ready to do it.
Is that hard coming from being the guy to then being in a locker room with guys who've been there, established themselves, and not just say waiting your turn, but being involved in rotation?
I wouldn't say I was the guy at Georgia. At Georgia, we all played our style of complementary football. So I think that's the mindset that, I just bring over here. It's so I play with bubble wrap. But, that's the mindset I bring here. I'm never that guy. I'm sure everybody in here never thinks that they're the guy. It's complementary football. We all feed off each other. We all have strengths and weaknesses that, if my weakness is something that Flesh got it, it's just all in the back of them up. So it's just play complementary football at the end of the day. Never think that yourself as the guy, because football will humble you real quick.
Take two more for Jordan.
What did you learn about yourself in your first game?
I'm ready. I struggle with self-confidence sometimes, and I'm like, all right, you're here. You gotta do something. Don't mess up. I'll be overthinking. So, when the dust clears and everything settled down, I'm like, all right, you held your own. You ready for this? Obviously there's a lot of technique stuff to work on, a lot of stuff you can work on. It's proven as a person, but you're here for a reason. And I think, I just continue that mindset and just keep playing. And I think that's also an edge too. You play like you got something to prove. And, as much as I overthink, I try to play with a chip on my shoulder.
I think he wanted to ask you this, but he was busy. How much does Fletcher mean to you?
A lot, man. A lot. He's a great guy. Just a great guy to learn under, and
just get ready for it. And just having him, I mean, dude's going to be a Hall of Famer, so, you know, just to have him lead the way and, you know, follow in his footsteps and trying to, you know, take pieces of his game and add it to my own. So whenever that time comes, I'll be ready.
Vikings play a lot of zone. You know, what do they play a certain? Is it a lot of cover 4-2? Is it?
They play a lot of everything. I mean, every zone that you can play. I mean,
they play them all.
They pretty much play it.
Yeah.
Do you feel like a game that the kind of game AJ had can help you? Maybe now they might like double him or roll a safety his way, and that gives you more opportunity to get open.
I mean, it depends. It depends on the defense what they like to do. If they have guys that want to travel or guys that like don't travel, I mean, that's up to their team, their defense coordinator, or however they want.
DeVonta, I mean, look, some guys might not handle it really well during the course of the game if the ball's not coming their way. How have you kind of learned through the course of your football life to stay mentally engaged? I mean, has it always just come naturally to you?
You always control what you can control. I can't control if the ball is coming to me or not. So, I mean, you got to always do your job, always do the right thing, and when it comes to you, make your play.
Is it ever hard to stay like mentally engaged when the ball's not coming your way?
No, not at all.
How do you make sure?
Control what you can control.